discussion. Tonight, Professor Mammo Munchie, Pan African Analyst and Research Professor, with us tonight on the governance issues on the African continent. In your opinion, Prof, before the break, I mean, one of the facets of this issue of governance that comes up and that the people of Eswatini are raising is the issue of abuse of power and abuse of resources, right? What type of leader, what needs to change in our leadership in order for people to do what they are supposed to do for their nations, or leaders in particular?
Thank you so much for asking a very good question and a very relevant question. Africa suffers from leadership poverty and leadership curse. Trust me. We had some very good leaders, and what happens to these leaders when they lead well and help their people? External actors combine with internal agents and manipulate them and get them killed. That's what has happened to us. I'll just give one concrete example. Thomas Sankara, one of our students at the UNISA, did a PhD, and I was examiner. You will not believe when I read it, I was almost in tears. The reason is, within 4 years, Thomas Sankara made an extraordinary difference. What did he do for the ordinary people? He said he does not want to ride Mercedes-Benz. He walks and bicycle. He said his salary, reduced it by half. He's not interested in money. It's not the love of money. It's the love of the people, the love of Africa. He changed the name to Burkina Faso, Africanized it. Many things like that. We have also excellent leaders in Africa. So what I'm just simply saying to you is that we need people who want to be leaders, must be, above all else, they must value, their salary must be to serve the service they give to the people, the health of the people, the well-being of the people, the reduction of unemployment, the eradication of unemployment. No one should be a beggar. In a country like South Africa, which is one of the richest countries in Africa, your platinum, what don't you have? 16 minerals you have, trillions. Why should we see some people in South Africa begging? I go on the street, they call me Papa and everything. We just have to, it's so difficult for me to just go by without just giving them something. It shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't be in this situation. Even in a country like South Africa, which is extraordinary, rich, in many, many senses. It's just management is where the biggest problem. Resource management, we don't. The people who lead must not be doing it for money.
Yeah.
They must be more happy when they see all the young people, the children, everybody just becoming very active, radiant, doing extraordinary things, invention, innovation. We should be creating blockchain innovation hubs. We should be doing many, many interesting simulation hubs, incubation hubs, many things like that. Only the young people should be like that. Stimulating them, doing them, and you are the leader, then we will give you a lot of award. Not money, but values to say, oh, he did a great thing.
Right.
Something like that is what we should be thinking.
Right.
I think we need a total paradigm shift, a mindset shift to make our youth game changers and change makers, and to also use the current digital technology. The technology is going to help us a lot, trust me now. Because with the technology, we can even do digital agriculture now. Many things we could do. And I think a lot of us now in the universities where we are, we should be very actively engaged to make sure our youth change, and their mindset is also changed, that they are more interested in serving, in really doing very good things for their people, not just taking, filling their pockets. No, something like that is what I really recommend very strongly.
Now, Prof, you mentioned earlier on a response possibly from the AU in as far as thinking ahead on what needs to happen. But let's talk about the immediate response from the region to what is happening in Swaziland. Should SADC respond, and how should SADC respond?
I think SADC should respond. If they respond, I do not want them to interfere in Swaziland, but I would like them to support the collaboration of all the political actors, from the monarchy to all the other actors, to find a way to do what I just say to you. What would be the best governance system that we need to set up for Swaziland? What would be the best leadership, quality leadership that we should do? What would be the best system if we don't want the monarchy? If we want a different system, how do we create it? All right? How do we create a system that still, right, values some of the good traditions, that the values and traditions, the indigenous knowledge, the spiritual, yeah, and all other achievements that have been done in Africa that we often don't recognize. Those things, we should not devalue them. The things that are wrong and that create conflicts, those kinds of traditional things that are not positive, we should not engage with them, maybe ignore them. But the good quality leaderships, the quality indigenous knowledge, many things that happen, they should be included. Then a completely new arrangement should be done, and then SADC should be really engaged in facilitating it. The African Union should do it. In fact, this crisis that is happening in Swaziland could be an opportunity, because if we know how to solve it, bring it with an give it an African solution to the problem, it can be a model for other regions and other areas, other conflicts we see in different parts of Africa. So let's try to make it an opportunity, not a challenge. Let's challenge all the challenges and try to come to a great solution that really is very, very helpful from Swaziland. And also, because Swaziland is very, very close to South Africa, South Africa also should play a big role. But I like also South Africa to really, I was hoping, genuinely, that South Africa would be a great model for the rest of Africa. So if you fail in leadership, if you fail in governance, if you fail in system building, in institution building, what it will mean is it also impacts the rest of Africa. So please, South Africa, also all of you, I really plead to all of you to really be genuine. Not go for money and all these things. Don't love money. Love people. Love life. Don't do silly things. Let's stop all these things we do. Killing people, this kind of silly things for just selfish interests. Yeah. We shouldn't do that like that. We should be really working very hard to make sure that the Africa really uses its rich resources to make all the people of Africa live a decent life.
Talking of selfish interests, do you think the governance failures are being exacerbated or being made worse by the fact that we are now dealing with a COVID-19 pandemic?
Interesting question. I think we have serious global challenges. We have the coronavirus challenge. We have climate change. We also have really the way the economy, the world economy functions is in such a way that, for example, take us in Africa, in the global value chain, we have minerals, agriculture, raw materials. We sell them at a lower price. Others manufacture them, and we buy them at a higher price. We have a very difficult situation. In this kind of situations, when you have this kind of global challenges, you are absolutely right. It is not just simply the change we in Africa do. We must do. We in Africa ourselves, if we're clever, we should do what we should do is we should learn how to unite with each other and work with each other and try to know how to deal with every challenge and problem first ourselves. But some of this problem is beyond us, like the coronavirus is global. And the same thing, climate change is global. We need a world also. We do not need the military-industrial complex that America has and creating military bases in all parts of Africa. No, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't allow that. The America should create the humane complex. Humanity lifesaver complex. They should be doing like that. The whole world is in America. They should be in that world. And then they should be also dealing with this. So we need a world which behaves with like one humanity and one community to deal with these serious challenges like the coronavirus and the climate change. We cannot, even if we solve our own problem here, the climate and the corona, we're not. If it's existing elsewhere, it will come back to us. Because of that, we're all interrelated. So the global world, including Africa generally, now we should be. I'm now worried now about the coronavirus because before it was in Europe and everything. Now it's come back to Africa. So I'm just worried that I don't want colonialism to come by using the coronavirus also, and any risk and danger, again, to impose on Africa. So I'm a bit concerned that we really need to also be very clever how we solve these coronavirus challenges and really address it so that Africa manages it, and all these issues that we have in the difficulties already we have, we should be really using this challenge to make us go beyond it and really even find a way to create better governance, better leadership, better. We should be doing like that. I think that's the best way to go on. That's what I suggest we should do.
Prof, I appreciate your time and thank you very much for joining us tonight here on In Focus. Pan African Analyst and researcher Professor Mammo Munchie, responding to the governance failures and challenges in the African continent and how we should be responding to that. Well, when we